One, two, three. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Hello, YouTubers. Bah. Right, first off, just watched a Gary Inmendham video, and it's better than he probably realizes it is. What he's saying in it is that people can never be satisfied as long as people are people, or humans can never be satisfied as long as humans are humans, because we're not made to be satisfied. That's what drives us, and we're happy to be driven. We're at our happiest when we are being driven. This is starting to be my video, not his now, but I recommend watching his. It's just a walk and talk, so it's not very long, I don't think. But what came to my mind was to put it in a slightly different way and ask you, because I answered a video reply to mine a while back, that somebody, which was representative of a lot of thinking out there, that people imagine that in the future things will get better. There is this progression where everything is getting better, and in the future humans will be happier humans because everything is progressing towards that sort of direction. So I say, well, project yourself there and try and imagine how it would be. We've got these space cadet ideas, that's what I call it, of old science fiction films where everyone lives in domes and everybody is of a certain age. They're normally between 20 and 35 by the look of them, all very fit looking, and the girls wear short dresses and doors go psh, psh. And if you can project yourself there or anywhere else you want to go, you can have that there's been this singularity in AI. Robots are running all the things that we don't want to do as humans, making the food and getting rid of waste and all sorts of anything you like. But do you really imagine that humans would be happy? No, they wouldn't be happy, is what I would drive at, because we are at our happiest when we're up to something, when we've got a project on, and that is just what humans do, whether it is as it was in old times where the project we had on was essential for our survival. That's how it went back then, either to feed, clothe or house ourselves. Nowadays many of our projects having our necessities taken care of are projects of frippery. They're just to keep us happy. For me, basically, as an example, my food, clothing and housing is taken care of for the foreseeable future, I hope. So I get on with other projects to make me happy. I kind of give myself short, medium, long-term projects that I am to fulfill to make myself happy. And I think to boost my ego, but not in the way that it's, in the normal way it's said, but also in the way, maybe if I can refer to my last video, yesterday's, on free will, perhaps even if I set myself a short project, it might be just to walk to the end of the road and back, as something I would do. I have the idea, walk to the end of the road and back, and I actually walk to the end of the road and back. I have done something that I created for myself. That's the idea anyway, and I get a more boost of me because I came up with an idea and I fulfilled that idea. And we do a lot of that, and I think that goes to re-establish the idea that we have free will and we are a certain moving central unit in the body. When we come up with these short projects and complete them, we complete them for us. We rather forget the times where we set ourselves projects like dieting or things like that anyway, where we don't, the idea comes that I'm not going to eat sticky buns, but then when I eat sticky buns, that's kind of different. we're really boosted by the projects that we succeed in doing. So the thing here is, can you imagine of a future, any sort of a future that's so much better than today, where our needs presumably would be taken care of? That's when the trouble sets in, because then everything else that we're doing is setting ourselves unnecessary little tasks to in various ways boost our own egos, or to make ourselves satisfied. Because we'd be sitting there, don't think just because you've got all your necessities, like this morning I wake up, I don't have to do anything, but I do things because it makes me satisfied. I make this video because it makes me satisfied. I'll go out, I've been to the store to get some materials for the project I'm doing, and all of that is part of doing these projects that make me, ego satisfied. So all these people in the short dresses going through these doors, they would have to be having little projects to do. You can say, well, they can go out with the AI robots and make the food and things like that, but I think it's probably better that you watch Gary's video. He puts it over with a lot more oomph and gets down to the nitty-gritty of it. But when it comes down to it, what we have is humans are never satisfied, because that's how we're designed to be. We're certainly not satisfied if we haven't got the basic necessities of being warm enough and fed enough, and having our other sexual or whatever other urges we have satisfied. But even if we have those satisfied, there will always be others. And even if those others are satisfied, the mind will soon go on to others. And even if you get down to the really nickety-pickety things, that really all your desires, possible desires, have been satisfied, the brain becomes unsatisfied with even being satisfied. It's just how we are built to be. I'll just throw in at the end of this video two things. I think, yeah, I've got time. I've been quite quick. First is from that, I'm obviously talking about Gary Amendam video, the top one, the linked video, but from a Gary Entropy video of a good while back when he was talking about entropy, he came up with a little factlet that I really think should not be forgotten. I don't think it's particularly hugely important in anything, but I think it's a good one to have, just to plug in to various things. Anyway, I'll tell you what it is. As he said it, everything that we ingest, every food that we take in that's good for us, anyway, we're ingesting it because it's good for us, to satisfy our craving for whatever it might be. Any food that we eat was at one time alive. Now, I can't find a great project to plug that in to say this is significant, but it's something that I think that everyone should know and realise and have ready as a piece of information. Every bit of everything that you eat today, that you ever will eat, was at one time alive. If you go eating a bicycle or rocks, well, that just puts you in the silly category and it doesn't really count. But for good nutritional purposes, what we eat was alive one time. Okay, another thing, it's a bit bitty, but noting from the comments on the free will video yesterday, there's some good comments, but there's a problem that comes up, which again, I see in videos and I've seen in comments again, which is the illusion idea, that free will is just an illusion. And this is, I go, okay, but be careful with that. When I say, it's I'm not going to go against it. It is an illusion, but if you explain, just say it's an illusion and think you've explained it to somebody, you've probably just complicated matters. Because saying free will is an illusion, it's like implying still that it's an illusion to somebody or something. It kind of almost boosts the fact that there is a somebody or something that is being deluded with the illusion, when this isn't really true at all. It's just parts of the brain create an illusion for other parts of the brain, and it's really of no consequence, well, it might be for scientists, which parts of the brain are deluded and which are making the illusions to delude the others. It's just to say, when you use the expression free will is an illusion, just be careful, because it tends to boost the impression in other people that there could be a central core in the brain, the eye, or whatever it is, that's having this illusion played upon it, when this isn't really true at all. So I think that sums up 1 or 2, 3 ends. But yeah, I can recommend Gary's video because it had a lot more punch than I had in mine. Yep, that's it. Bye.